Welcome back to Chang An, Humble Administrator. You will soon be assuming the duties of a new post recently created by our Emperor Wu Di, Commissioner of Trade. You see, it was many years ago that our Emperor dispatched an envoy, Zhang Qian, to make an alliance with the Yuezhi tribe against the troublesome Xiongnu. The envoy was not heard from for over 10 years and feared dead. Just recently, however, he has returned, and the stories he has of distant lands are quite incredible. Soon after departing, he was captured by the Xiongnu. After a few years, he escaped their clutches and, being a royal servant, attempted to complete his mission. His quest to locate the Yuezhi tribe took him far to the west, to the distant land of Fergana and the Pamir Mountains. It was there he discovered that these people prized Chinese goods, which had somehow found their way into those lands. In fact, their passion for our fine silk is particularly keen. This exciting news has delighted our emperor, who wisely foresees that much profit can be made by government control of this trade. In return for Chinese silk, the distant city of Kashgar offers beautiful jade and savory new spices. Meanwhile, in Chang'an, lovely flowering trees can be planted to further beautify the city streets and wards. The emperor also requests that a grand tumulus, his imperial mausoleum, be prepared for his eventual use. It will be your honor to find a beneficial location for it and to oversee its construction. To the north, however, rumblings from the Gobi Desert grow ever louder and more incessant. The Xiongnu problem remains unsolved.
G'day mates and welcome back to Emperor. Looks like we're heading back to Chang An again, the capital city. I'm assuming this is going to be opening up the silk route or silk trade, with the west. Doesn't look particularly difficult. Let's dive on in and have a look what the city's presenting us. I hadn't quite remembered what I've done with this city. Also, pardon if I've got a bit of a husky voice today. I had a reasonably late night drinking last night, so I'm a little bit hungover today. And perhaps not quite at 100%, but I think I'll manage regardless. Now, our military is small. Did I build more military anywhere? It looks like that's a no. No, so we've only got this small military here. It's probably a good thing that I set this up in the other mission. I think I only really did this as a like a temporary thing, but it hasn't done my unemployment. It has completely screwed my unemployment because everybody is moving in, although these guys need food. We seem to have food problems of some sort. Why, oh why do we have food problems? Probably to do with the fish. Now the fish is screwing us up, but we're going to need, what did I say, nobles, didn't it? No, we don't need nobles at all. Okay, so maybe I won't do nobles. Interesting. This one's not going to get fish. I'm going to stop you getting fish because all you're doing is sending people up quite far up here. And they should be getting stuff from down here instead. Now the fish I can still use. If I do decide to do nobles, I can set a separate little farming area up here. Still a pain in the ass that the mill will get from anywhere in the city, but if I keep things reasonably controlled, I can have these guys to just drop off at the mill up there and have a storage up here somewhere. So I should be fine. I have to avoid these salamanders, although probably will capture those salamanders. Which gods do that? I know Nuwa can do it. I'm assuming the other woman can do it, maybe? Ji Wang Mu? I can't imagine either of these. Like, maybe these guys are hunters or something. Huang Di might be a hunter. Maybe he can... catch... No... like a priest walker, blah blah blah, jade... Oh, hang on, did I see that? Yeah, there you go. Animals for the menagerie. Who else can do that? He can't, although he would be useful for trade. I could probably use him in to get the treasury goal. And of course I'm going to need nobles to unlock these three gods, because they are Confucian as opposed to Taoist. When the Taoist obviously goes with these regular middle class people. Sun Tzu can also capture animals. That's useful. So Sun Tzu is a hunter of some sort. He's obviously a strategist, but he can obviously go hunt animals as well. There's a lot of stuff there. I'm not going to read that. And yeah, so a bunch of different people I can use. I can use at least Nuwa and Sun Tzu, possibly a couple of others. While you're here, you may as well have a whole bunch of fish. Now, let me think about how I'm going to do this. I'm going to need to build a Tumulus somewhere. So, it's a grand Tumulus. It's one of those big-ass ones. It might be kind of cool having it right here. It's a shame that... I could put it right there. I'd have to destroy a couple of houses. You know, so change stuff around here, but I think it would fit in quite nicely just there. I'd have to knock out a herbalist stall, but I can always put that down somewhere else. And this garden might have to change. I actually quite like that garden there. It looks quite beautiful. So I might just pull this one back slightly. We'll put this back... yeah, we'll do it there. That'll allow me to... I don't have to change this road up here at all. And all I've got to do is take out a little bit of the wall. So... oh, bugger, there's rocks there. So that... yeah, I can't put it there at all. So there are rocks in the way just here. I don't know. I'm going to figure that one out as the mission continues. Now, it's going to be a lot of labourers. I'm going to need to... well, let's have a look at the silk trade route. Through the desert, Kashgar. Let's open them up and see if they will just open it up immediately. I'm assuming that's what this mission's about. So, none you we can't interact with. I'm going to need a military, I think, at some point. These two things here are just not going to be sufficient. Anyway, I'm going to keep plugging away. I'm going to have a look. I'm going to try and figure out how to approach this mission, and then I will cut back once we get there. Okay, Jiao Zhou has become a vassal. Benevolent rule. Huangdi arrives. I don't particularly want Huangdi here, but that doesn't bother me too much. He's just going to be using up the stuff here. Tribute, they pay a small amount of cash. Wish I could change that. Can I change? I'm sure I can change that somehow. It doesn't bother me right now. They will buy weapons, kind of cool. Carved jade could be useful because I think they mentioned that those guys will sell me jade, so I can produce that if required. Rice, okay, so I don't need fish. That's a good thing to know. So, if they sell me, let me just think about this. I'm currently set up a getting fish area, so I wanted to get it down here, and then change around and play with it that way. But I'm not going to bother with that because obviously now I know that I can get. Obviously know that I can buy food from somebody else. So what did they sell me? I can import rice here as well, so I may as well just not focus on fish at all. That was a silly idea. So I'll get the rice instead, and I'll start importing that now. This is from somebody different, but the rice will do. 24 should be enough at a time, and then we can stockpile the rice in here. Salt and spices we don't want, although spices would be kind of cool. They're essentially interchangeable. I don't know if they can both add to it, but I think my understanding of is that I can have just wheat, growing like a whole bunch of wheat, for example, and then use salt and spices to make that combined into appetizing food quite easily. Now, it won't give me the bulk. It'll only be the equivalent of them eating just the wheat. The others are only flavors, so they don't add bulk to it. So that's something to keep in mind. But as for now, I think, so you'll import lacquerware I'm going to need as well. So let's import the lacquerware, because I'm in the process of moving all this timber away, and I'm going to be bulldozing this and putting in a little noble quarters right here. That should be enough timber for the time being. So I think we can... I'm going to need this guy to patrol down this way. So what I can do is just change it around. Put 1, 2... and I'll throw, I suppose, that one there. And with that, we no, because I'm going to need to... yeah, whatever, that'll do. So you now can go down there. I will remove this roadblock here. And then that guy should just patrol down and take care of looking after these buildings here, stopping them from collapsing. Chengdu respects me, which is great. Now you, my friend, can also get lacquerware up to 16. So that should be enough to send my stuff sky high. Once I destroy all this stuff here, you can go and I will figure out how to set this up. Yeah, unemployment is a problem. We're still quite high. I'm going to drop that down. How much does that drop it? To 4%. Now, the problem with controlling it like this is, I'm sure I've run into it a few times in previous missions. I don't know if I've directly explained it though. But having having a low payment rate, if I go to very low, and just to control unemployment, it does piss the people off just because they're not being paid very well. Okay, I don't know what's happening here. So that will piss people off. I do need to avoid that as much as possible. So I think I'm going to need to start absorbing this, and a noble's quarters will absorb employment quite well. So I'm going to get cracking on that, and we will be nicely set up shortly. Alrighty, trade with Kashgar has opened up. I'm still in the process of building this block back here, and I've gone for a little bit more of an organic look, trying to make it look nice, I suppose. I'm not sure exactly how it'll turn out, but we'll get there once we're done. But let's have a quick look at Kashgar. Now, they'll buy... Salt's not much value. Lacquerware is kind of cool, but we have to import it now, I think. We can't grow lacquer here anyway. But carved jade we can make, and silk is the big one. Not a huge amount of silk. That's not really as much as I was thinking. At this point, though, we've got a shit ton of silk just sitting around. So, if I throw in Kashgar right there, and they can just export any additional silk we may have. Import jade. How much do you import? Only 12 per year. You will buy 12 carved jade. So we're going to need to go and get more. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, import jade, export carved jade. That's really cool there. Okay. Let's just go for 12 to start. We don't need a huge amount of jade just sitting around. We can only export a certain amount anyway. But I'll throw a couple of extra carved jade people down here. Nope, they're in here. Carved Jade Carvers Studios, if I can get the words right. Actually, drop off those two because they're not harmonious, and those 4 I know will cover 12 per year. There's my cat in the background starting to talk again. Employees needed, which is great. I can bump that up very easily. We're up to 6% now, and the rest of them should be absorbed in here. Actually, everything's already got it. Things are looking pretty good. I don't think cash is going to be the issue with this one. Yep, cat is talking a lot. I think we're sorted then. Let's have a quick look at our gods. Everyone's happy for now. I can now start getting Sun Tzu, Mencius, I suppose. Mencius or Mencius? I don't know. Confucius, Mencius. Yep, okay. So I can start getting these guys in anyway. And hopefully get these problems back under control. Okay, foreign emissaries just come in, and Chengdu is now requesting an alliance. Let's join them. I can't see any negatives to that at the moment. It may be a trick of some sort, but I think Chengdu is going to be useful to us. We could sell them a bunch of stuff if we wanted to. We can buy food and various other things from them. We could actually buy silk and sell it at a high price to Kashgar if we were desperate for it. We're still, even now, producing massively more than we need. So I've got more silk just to keep these guys going for pretty much forever, actually. So, not to mention ceramics. Just give them a medium one. I'm going to have to start working on getting these animals sorted. Now, I think I've already got one. I've got a pheasant because of, what's that word? Well, they're an empire now, Zhongnu Empire. I got a pheasant because, what's the word? Because I had a New Year thing, like a year of the bunny rabbit in the previous time I played the city. So they are going well there. What I think I can do is send the pheasants down to these guys here. That should be able to get everything done. Or I can sort of can't think and talk at the same time. But what I'm trying to say is that if I send everything to all these people, I may well be able to... There's no point actually sending it to everything. Can I send a gift to Kashgar? Let's send them an animal. See if they send me something back from out west. Now, what I can do is I can leverage that pheasant without having to get a god in to come and capture these salamanders or do any of that hard work myself. I can just allow them to gift me everything by just repeatedly giving gifts over and over again to different people. But we'll see how we go anyway. Now, this is my little noble quarters. We have unlocked a new decoration item, the aesthetic trees, and they're quite beautiful. I mean, the colors are spectacular. For the most part, this area should be good feng shui. Unfortunately, that tree isn't. It's unfortunate. Which tree can I use? Plum, I can't use plum. Peach, I can't use peach. Cherry, I can use a cherry tree. There we go. So that's kept everything nice and harmonious. Obviously, this thing's not harmonious, and none of this shit over here is. I suppose I could bulldoze these trees and get near the rocks if I really wanted to, but I'm pretty happy with what I've built here. It's a nice, beautiful little noble quarters, and okay, thank you. Yeah, all happy for the pheasant. Now these guys they're happy as well, so I can send them an animal, send them a pheasant as well, and hopefully they will start sending me back some goby bears or something from up in the north if Kashgar doesn't do the same. Now on to other news. What else do I need to do? So we're going to need to start building our military once these nobles begin to move in and level up further. The Grand Tumulus is what I need to start working on next. Now I still haven't decided exactly where I'm going to do that. I could put this down here, but it's a little bit far out. And I still do want to put it here, but of course there's rocks everywhere in the way, so I could just in the end probably stick it right there. And I think that is what I'm probably going to do. So this is all disconnected, so I may as well just figure out a space and throw it down. Okay, finally taking care of our employee problem, and we're currently on normal pay rate. So with that I can throw down the ceramic shop here, and that'll level up this final block. That'll provide us with more than sufficient workers, I suspect. Yep, nothing else I need to do here. With that, it's pretty much just going to be receiving gifts of animals. I've obviously had 2 of them just come through. I got a Saiga antelope and a wild pig. What do you want? A goby bear. Excellent. We're going to get ourselves a goby bear now. And just the other gifts I was sending off. So we're going to ourselves a goby bear now, which is pretty good actually. So we've got 4. I've got 2 of the northern ones, 1 southern one. I believe that's a central one. So I should have them all sorted. With this here, we need to get silk and ceramics and a whole bunch of different things. Not something I'm particularly bothered with. We're going to need timber as well. So we've got timber down here. I can throw all the carpenters and stuff around as required. At this point, I think it's just going to be a waiting game. So let's start powering on, get the time ticking over quicker, and I'll cut back if anything else interesting happens. Okay, very, very good news. Kashgar will now buy more silk. So how much will they buy? Probably 24. It's not Kashgar. They're Kashgar. They will now buy up to 24 silk, which is spectacular. We can start selling a hell of a lot more. I'm assuming this is just going to keep increasing as the silk trade to the west starts going. That's our salamander come in. We are, how far are we now? Got a pheasant and a salamander from the middle area. We got a vulture, a goby bear, and a Saiga antelope from the north. We got the panda, the tiger, and the wild pig from the south. So I only need 1 more from the center. Let's go to Yin and give them, I don't know what I haven't given them, probably a panda I haven't given them. So you can have the panda, and that will allow me to complete them. I'll get all 9 of them, which will be more than meeting the menagerie type animals that I require. So all it is now is waiting on this tumulus to be built and a treasury goal. We currently require timber. That should be the timber coming up now somewhere. Oh, timber's already in there. Now I just need to get the construction dudes, which are going to be carpenters guilds, and I reckon I can fit a whole bunch of these in easily. Okay, here we go. This is a whole bunch of different things we're going to need. Now, I did struggle last time the tumulus happened because I didn't have them, and apparently I've been told by Super Sajuk that they request them in a certain order, whether it's top to bottom or there's some kind of internal code. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I should have everything here. I'll have jade carvings I've got just here, weapons I've got down the bottom, ceramics are in a couple of locations not far in the city, silk is just here, and lacquerware vessels are coming in down here. Do we have enough of them? Probably not just yet. I'll try to buy more as required, but this one here, actually this one here has got them all stocked up as well. So weapons, we're burning through them quite a lot because we are in the process of excuse me, modernizing our military here. We've got a fairly sizable force now. We've got 2 cavalry, 3 infantry, but suspect that should be enough. I don't think we're going to need anything else. Looks like they're all being dumped in quite quickly. So it starts off with silk, which was probably the bottleneck in the previous city where the Tumulus was. I've got that. I've got the lacquerware now. I just need the ceramics or the weapons, whichever comes next. Looks like ceramics. Yes, Happy New Year. No, looks like it's not ceramics. Maybe it's weapons, and I don't have any Oh no, it is ceramics. Here we go. There we go. That's put in, and now of course finally is the weapons to be placed in. Now there aren't that many of them. What I should probably do is let's get rid of the weapons from here just temporarily. Put these back in. You should get weapons for the time being. Get them out of there, and then we can drop them off to the relevant part of the monument. Okay, you stop getting them, just accept them from here on out. Done. Okay, now with that we should be able... Oh, looks like the weapons have already been dropped off. Geez, that was quick. I wasn't paying attention. In that case, we can start selling weapons again. I think Shi Wang Mu is still reasonably happy. Let's give her some ceramics. And with that, the construction of the monument can actually begin. Looks like there's been a price increase for silk. Now, I don't know exactly how this works, whether it's applied automatically or whether it's just what people will pay for it. But I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm not going to have any trouble meeting that treasury goal. It's just going to pour in at this rate. The cash is just all over the place. Taxes seem to be going well here. We've got the impressive compounds, which need drama access, which we unfortunately do not have. So other than that, how much tax are we making? Quite a bit of cash per house. Now, they make nearly 300 per year, I think. These ones make 42 though, but there's so many more of these houses that I tend to sort of overlook it. I'm sure I mentioned it in one of the earlier episodes, but there's just so much cash you get out of these regular houses in taxation that nobles, they're not really a moneymaker at all. All they are is really a drain in your economy. I'm sure 370 for just absorbing excess resources is probably a good thing, and they do give me military as well. But other than that, there's no reason to really build them. If you want cash, you just build more houses and find employment for them. They actually pay themselves off quite handsomely. Just to show how much cash I can actually get here, and if you look in the top right, you'll see the amount of cash I'm getting from taxation. Now, it's worthwhile noting that I do have Confucius in the city right now, and he will... Oh, this fucking cat off my face. This hero will bump up tax rates by a small amount. I think it's the equivalent of one step, essentially. So it's probably about 1,000 extra he's giving me. So I would be getting... He's actually not giving me much at all. So I think I would be getting a 10,000 normally, and he's giving me the equivalent of, one higher level. So I don't know whatever that means. But yeah, either way, I'm getting a bit of cash out of him, just having him in the city as he wanders around and does his thing. I wonder if actually anyone provides drama access. Does anyone do that? Obviously not him. Drama access. No. Drama. Can't see any drama access. Priest Walker. So, no. I thought maybe I might be able to level these guys up a little bit further using a different hero. But I guess not. Either way, we're gradually getting there. We've done sort of the first... There's a digging area, and then a refilling, and now we're building the tumulus on top of it. So we are actually fairly far along, even though it looks like we've only done 2 levels. This is a little bit weird. Fuzhou is demanding animals. 1 animal to them, I guess. I don't know, it's a bit of a weird request, considering animals are effectively free, other than the... does that mean I lose the animal? I don't know, let's see what happens. We'll send that off and we'll get... Actually, I never got a response from Yin, did I? So I'm going to send them, Yin, another animal, and see if they will reciprocate. So I think I sent them a panda last time. Let's send them a vulture. I'm sure I haven't sent anyone any vultures. So we'll see if they will give me something, and I can fulfill that as well. Okay, drought. Have angry ancestors pissed me off? No, apparently it's just a thing. It's destroyed some of that farm. At this point, I have so much raw silk sitting around. That's just to show off how much raw silk I've got. If I decide to just give away a whole big bunch of it, the thing gets filled up virtually immediately. So I've just got silk coming out my bloody ears. I just don't know what to do with it all. Almost wish I could just give it away to people. Well, quicker than I can anyway. Quicker than I'm making it. So that really isn't a concern. I've got more than enough farms here. A massive overkill. But I do like the look of it. I think it's a nice, rich, prosperous city. In an effort to diversify my people's diet a little bit more, I've gone and acquired some salt and some spices as well. I don't actually need it. I've got more than enough rice coming in from this trading partner, as well as this one down here. But, you know, get a bit of variety. Never killed anyone important. So I'll get a few things in here, and I might just mix up their food every now and then. So we're currently eating noodles with meat. You're having golden millet porridge. And these guys are having meat fried rice. So what I'm going to do is try to mix this up a little bit and see if I can change what they're eating just for the fun of it. Okay, we've got some mixed vegetable stir fry. These guys are having some stuffed buns, and you're on crispy noodles. Sounds interesting. What are these guys over here? Our nobles are currently eating chow mein fun. Chow mein fun. Something or other. I could probably actually bump them up to delicious food. Now to do that, what will that require? That will require a new mill, because I need to have 5 types of food in it. So if I throw in a new mill here, let's not worry about bean curd, let's not worry about fish. Cabbage we're going to need, game meat I'm not bothered with, millet we have, rice. Okay, so let's use these ones here. We're going to go to 4 and 4. And I think cabbage, the other one, 4. So these ones are very easy to get. So I only want to stock a couple of them. And the other food types we can get as required. So I'm going to wait until we stock it all up here. We should be able to get the spices and various other kinds of things like that as... Okay. So we should have, we've got now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 different food types in there. So if I bump these guys up to delicious food, at some point, they should go and get it. Now, not that it's going to make an actual difference at all, because people are not going to evolve regardless, but I can start feeding my people quite good food from here on out. In fact, I wonder if that's... No, it looks like... hang on there. Tasty food. So I need a minimum quality of appetizing, but if they want, if the food's available, they can go up as high as tasty. There we go. So you'll have delicious food. You're currently eating tasty food, but if they can do it, they will take what they can from this area here. Now it's not particularly efficient usage of my food, but I've got so much money at this point, and I'm just waiting for this bloody monument to finish. I'm not really enjoying these Tumulus things. They're not demanding in any way at all. They don't take any effort on my part, other than remembering to check if the gods need anything. I'm not going to give you that much, actually. Fuck, you're still exalted anyway. I've got to deal with the dickhead in my city. Thanks, Huangdi. Now, I mean, it's just a slow monument. All it requires is dirt, which is essentially time. So the only demand on my time here is time, which is just a little bit boring once you've built them a few times. Okay, they're now eating delicious food down here, which is going to be spicy triple delight with sauce. Interesting. You're having tasty food, which is stirred noodles. You're going savoury stirred noodles, you got a bit more variety there. And you're having flavoured Three Treasures noodles. A lot of noodles going on at the moment. I'm assuming that is the wheat kicking in there. I think most noodles are made from wheat, at least of the choices we've got here. I don't think millet makes bread very well. I think it's more of a... Actually, I don't really know much about millet at all. I don't really know what kind of food type it is. I know it's quite an ancient type. Cabbage, obviously, is a leafy green. I'm assuming it's probably going to be ground into a type of flour as well, the same as wheat is. Ooh, millet vegetable balls. That does sound not particularly appetizing, but maybe. Flavoured cabbage stirs mushrooms. I assume that's a stir fry of some sort. And some savoury mushu vegetables. That does sound nice. What are these guys over here eating? They're currently on the triple delight still. I wonder if that does change ever. Ooh, we'll go over here, a seasoned poo-poo platter. Actually, when I say it, it doesn't sound very good. But yeah, that must be some kind of interesting Chinese dish. Don't know a huge amount about Chinese cuisine, so I guess something I really do need to look into a little bit more. That mill's closer, so maybe what I can do is get you to... No, let's change it around. Send you up to delicious food. Start feeding these people extra well. Maybe the increased food will stop these things from devolving a little bit. Flavoured pot stuck dumplings. Now that does sound nice. And there we go, the Grand Tumulus is complete. Let's quickly pause that, jump over here and have a quick look at it. That's all nicely set up. It appears to be it's dedicated to Shen Nong, so he is mightily impressed for, you know, a good couple of years from here on out. And let's have a quick go through the city, because I don't think we'll be coming back here again. This is probably the end of it. Our metal smelting down here. We never did use that much, what's the word? That much hemp. I've always been maxed out on hemp. I think later on in the game, hemp has more and more uses as we start to move into the Steel Age a bit later on. But for the time being, things are looking pretty good. Quite a nice city. Our unemployment is at 3%, which is, you know, pretty bog standard there. I did end up fixing this devolution thing. For some reason, we just weren't getting enough throughput. Possibly because this block is a little bit further back, and they had to go down to the market. They just weren't quite getting enough throughput for all these houses. This one's fine because there's fewer houses, but I did fix it by just throwing down a second food vendor, and it appears they can hold double the amount of food total. That's actually reasonably low compared to over 1,000 when they've got the 2 shops there. So stuffed buns. I did lower the food type down. I thought that might have been playing with it, but it turns out they just were struggling to move enough food up there quick enough. So, you know, it would travel a couple of houses and then already hit a run out of food. So that's all been fixed. That is another problem solved. And with that, the city is all done. We've got everything done. I never did get that final animal type. I've been sending to a bunch of different people, but they haven't got back to me in time for the Grand Tumulus to be built. But let's head onwards to victory.
An exemplary job. The door to the west has been opened, and trade flows in uninterrupted caravans between Chang An and Kashgar, along what has come to be known as the Silk Road. Emperor Wu Di has not been disappointed in his decision to appoint you as Commissioner of Trade. Now, however, he has another equally important task for you.
Well, there we go, guys. That is the end of this episode. We've smashed this city out. Chang An is a vibrant, fabulously wealthy city now, and I almost wish I could sell more stuff. Commission of Trade just couldn't find enough markets for all the things I was producing. Anyway, guys, I've been Blxz. This has been Emperor. If you do indeed enjoy this content, make sure to smash that button. Smash that thumbs up button and let me know that you do like it. Drop a comment as well and tell me what you did like, what you didn't like, and how I can improve. And if you're not already subscribed thus far, make sure to hit that subscribe button and be notified when new content comes out. Hopefully there'll be a lot more of that in the near future. Take care, guys. I'll be seeing you around.